tough finish. I felt our overall effort, especially on the defensive end, gave us an opportunity, but we weren't able to capitalize there in the third quarter and down the stretch in the fourth to get which would have been a huge win against a great team.
Coach, I think you held them without a point for about 9-minute stretch there between the second quarter and the third quarter. Can you just talk about what you guys did on defense and then, what you felt like after you took the lead there?
Yeah, well, this group understands any chance for us to have an opportunity to be successful, it's on the defensive end. And especially against a team like Connecticut who can score in so many different areas and so many different players. So I felt just that focus, scoring is a challenge for us. And, with the exception of Maddy, I think Lucy has come along great in her early career, but the others recognize how important it is for us to get stops in order to give ourselves a chance. So that was a really great stretch. As I said, gave us a chance to stay in the game and then take the lead, but not enough of a cushion against their strength.
Maddy, this is a return trip for you. This is a group that's familiar with playing this team and beating this team in this building. That big game today. Can you walk me through just what preparation was like, and you had a big game as well?
Yeah, we're coming off a bye week, so we have a big win at Creighton next week, and it's kind of just like, you try not to look too far ahead. I mean, this was the next game. It's just getting ready all week, and then, coming here is a tough place to play. The battle's like mostly you have to do the work before you get here. It's all mental preparation and just knowing they're going to go on their runs and you got to be able to sustain that, and then you got to go on your runs. And I thought, we did a really good job today. There's a lot of young players that stepped up and played significant minutes and didn't back down to anyone. So, as a captain, I couldn't be more proud of them.
Walk me through that third quarter. You were kind of cold in the first. You got your looks. They weren't quite going down. But this time around, you brought out another break.
I think just knowing, it's kind of like a matter of when, you're going to get good looks. I thought I was getting good looks the whole game. So you just got to take your time and shoot them the same. You can't get flustered just because you missed a couple shots. You got to just, keep shooting the ball.
Maddy, you've been able, obviously, to beat them on this court, play them close. What does it do for this team's confidence, especially, with the biggest tournament's not that far away now?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Obviously, today's going to stink a little bit because, you put yourself in a position to win the game, and then, we didn't capitalize down the stretch. But, I mean, it's huge. They're a great team. They're a great program, obviously, and just knowing, you hung with them, so you could hang with anyone, and just try to take that from this game and continue to grow as a team.
Coach, you've talked about Olsen and how much she's grown this year. What do you see a difference in her confidence? She's trying to get her through really good games in two huge games back to back. But what do you see a difference?
Yeah, well, Lucy's a worker, so Maddy just made the statement of preparing leading up to the game, and if you do that, then the game takes care of itself, and your execution and commitment on the defensive end, and that's what Lucy has learned in her career. Last year, again, thrown right in the fire as a freshman. I think great leadership from Maddy and Brianna Hurley, just taking her under her wing a little bit and getting her ready. And then this year she wanted more responsibility, and she's embracing it. So she's just a competitor. She wants to see her team succeed, and she's willing to do whatever is necessary. So it's good to see that the prep that she's putting in, the time and effort in practice and outside, is paying off.
And her fellow sophomore, Dulcie, she had another great game and her defense on Edwards. What do you think of her performance there? I know when I talked to her earlier this year, she was not nervous for this matchup, but this was one that stood out to her just because of Edwards' performance in the Big East. What do you think of her?
Yeah, again, I think she recognized, watching film, watching it a little more from the sideline last year and seeing what Edwards is doing this year. She's having a great year. Christina did a real nice job setting the tone early, just being in the right position, getting the spots. It's tough, her getting in foul trouble, but it's, just the two ends of the floor where we're saying we think she's capable of giving us some more on the other end and just settling her in a little bit. I think just keeping that intensity on the defensive end, but calming herself a bit on the offensive end. I think she can get some buckets for us.
Anything else?
Coach, how big was Aubrey Griffin for them? I mean,
Yeah.
you held their big players in check a lot, but then she made some big plays
Right.
at times in the game.
Yeah, well, we made that comment at halftime, just saying, you know, she is taking advantage of the matchup and trying to make some adjustments there in the second half. But we just said it to the group, you know, compliment to UConn. They realized, you know, I think we did a great job of taking Lou out of the equation. Our guards at Brooke Mullen, Bella Runyon did a heck of a job of just being disruptive with her. But, you know, great teams, they find some holes and they find the other players who are going to get buckets, and Griffin did just that tonight.
Coach, was UConn's defensive approach to try to slow Maddy pretty typical of what you see usually?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just trying to crowd her, trying to make it more of a muscle match. You know, but I think Maddy uses her experience and teammates to her advantage. You know, she's a tough guard because if they want to overplay, she's going to look to backdoor. She uses screen very well, just opens the floor up. I think being able to create a little bit more for herself than she did in her early career has changed her game as well. So yeah, I think Maddy could speak to that. I think, you know, a little bit size and strength wise, that's what teams will do to her. Do you want to speak to me?
Sure. Yeah, just kind of knowing that you're going to see like double the triple team a lot and just being prepared for it. You know, I always just have a mentality like when you're shooting the ball, it doesn't matter how many people are in front of you. You just is up and in. Just trying to have that approach. I didn't, you know, foresee anything to be like totally different tonight. Most teams, you know, have a similar strategy.